Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I am going to talk about one of the important topic, how we can deploy the application or in container based application in Kubernetes Engine. What are the deployment method we are following whenever we are going to deploy any application in Kubernetes Engine. First I'll be talking about the deployment, then I'll bit explain about the rolling update. Then how we can pause a rolling update, resume a rolling update, rollback an update, and then we'll move on to the Canary deployment, how to create the Canary deployment and then verify the Canary deployment and Canary deployment in production. Then lastly we'll talk about the blue-green deployment, and also if is there any issue, then how to roll back the blue-green deployment. So these are the standard method which will be performed now. So this is the document which I have created, but in now let's go ahead and see in action. So let me explain from the beginning. The first things which I'll follow, the Kubernetes create -f deployment YML file. This is one deployment, and this is the command to check the deployment and how to scale the deployment. This command to check get replica set, and what are the pod is up and running or not. This is the command to get the pod, and then to enable your service, to how the external world communication will happen, to enable the service. Then again one more deployment will deploy the hello.yml, and then apply the secret TLS cert on that deployment, and front-end YML also deployed. This is the command kubectl create -f deployment front-end YML, and this is the service to check whether the service is created or not. One service created, the public IP will enable and it will display to access the external things. So but all these things like how in code, just let me show you. This is the all deployment YML file, manifesto file. So you can just follow this method to write a deployment YML file. Now all these key parameter and properties you have to define. This is the image name, docker image, which is version 1.00, and the front end, and this is the front end YML file, and you have to write like this: nginx front end config. This is the front end deployment YML file, and the hello.yml file, deployment YML file. This is that will look like this, and what are the parameter and all define here. So the same thing like here through the command, how we can all these things deployed in and also how it is working. Let me show you that one as well. Here this is the auth deployment file, and this is the front end now, and this is the hello. So 3 deployment successfully deployed through this command, right? So now to check the ruling update in action. So for example, how to scale my deployment. So scalability in the pod level, this is the command to set the replica set to 5 and check. How to check whether the 5 pods is up and running or not. This is, you can see, this is the 5 pod, and the scale down also same. If will mention replica 3, then it will scale down, and will just check the kubectl get pods grep hello and wc-l. So then you can see this is the 3, scale down to 3. So scale up and scale down, how it is happen, you can also notice in this things through the kubectl command. Now let me check the replica set. So you can see my pod is up and running, and how same replica set, all this, like it will you can check replica set. So this is the things. But now moving to the rollout strategy. Suppose my rolling update is rolling update was how rolling update was running, and then how to roll out this option. So let me tell you that one as well. Okay, here you can see rollout option. So this is the simple command, kubectl rollout history deployment to check, but the original things to pause the rollout and rollout status, all these things. So earlier it was running 1.0, then roll out to the previous version 2.0, and then just resume the rolling update. You can roll out and resume and see the status of the rollout, and it is successfully roll out. So this is the command in high level, just I am using. You can also follow the same. And here rollout history, if you want to see the rollout history, you can also check. So now move on to the next. For example, the rolling update, how it's working, let's see in action. So for example, earlier it was up and running one version of hello deployment, but as soon as I just updated, just use the rollout get deployment. Roll out the deployment, how it is cyclically moving to earlier it was 1, then roll out it will then in meantime we have started deployment of the version 2.0. then again I'll check to roll out to my previous version. Then you see earlier it is 1, and then again it is converted to version 2, then slowly moving to 1, then all are 1 version of the deployment. So rolling update, how exactly it is working. For example, one version 1.10 is up and running, then I am planning for a 2.0 version. So then what will happen, it will move to 2.0, and slowly one will be delete and deprecate. Then if we'll rule out the if in case is there any issue in 2.0 version of the application, then you can use rule out or roll back. So you can roll back to 1.0, that you can see in next one. So same thing, like you can also see, let me show you one things, like the deployment. Now I'm moving to the Canary deployment. So in Canary deployment, as you can see, this is my Canary deployment YML file, and here the manifesto file. Let me show you. This is the manifesto file of the Canary deployment. So Canary deployment just written on the image 2.20. So Canary deployment is a few option. It will not whole things will be moving to the production. Only few things will for our testing purpose will see, and how it is working will check. So let me show you that one. You can see as soon as you plan for the Canary deployment, so that just we are planning for 2.0 version to test in our production. So as you can see, first you come 2.0 and 1:4 25% we just allow for 2.0, and 1.50 is rest of the 75%. So based on that, in the real scenario you can check. Just I'll checking. First it will access 2.0 application, then after continuously it is 1.0 application, then slowly you can see here you see. So the as you 1/4 of this whole application, so 2.0 this one, and another here one, and here one. So I mean both application is up and running. So 25% is my 2.0 version, and 75% workload is up and running my 1.0. So in practical, in action, as you can see, also practically I shown here. You can also follow this process. Now move on to the next deployment. Like if you want to roll back the deployment, also you can use rollback strategy as well. But now I am moving to the Canary blue-green deployment. So let me show you the blue-green deployment. Suppose hello green YML is my version 1, but blue and green. So blue is my 2.0, and sorry, green is 2.0, and blue is my previous version. I mean 1.0 and 2.0 would be the green. So based on that, first my existing application is blue, that is 1.0 version. As you can see, 1.0 version is working. So then now I start to enable the after deployment of my green. As you can see, this is my deployment YML file. As soon as I deploy my hello green YML manifesto file, then my deployment successfully happen. But I want to enable the service, then it will work. So as soon as I switch over or routing my traffic to the blue to green, this is the mandatory, and then once it will reflect you see 2.0 version. You can see if something goes wrong, so then you can roll out this previous version. So first you'll check like whether the blue-green deployment is successfully happen or not. Then you can also if something goes wrong, you can roll out to the previous version. As you can see, after the rollout, if something goes wrong, then you just nothing you have to do. Only what you will do, will have to enable your blue service YML file. Just deploy your service blue service YML. This is the key point which you will have to remember whenever you are planning for blue-green deployment. Only instead of changing anything, just apply your enable your service. If something goes wrong, then you just previous service you just enable. Then you can see my previous version was up and running. If something goes wrong in my 2 version, for example, it's successfully not deployed, then you just enable my service.yml file, then it will work. So this is all about the ruling update, Canary deployment and blue-green deployment strategy which we are following in Kubernetes Engine. So I hope this video will be helpful, and lastly let me show you the exact thing in action in the Google Cloud Console. This is my 3 deployment, and the service which I was talking about, this is the service. One is the front end service, and this is my hello service endpoint, and this is my auth service. So if I'll check here, you can see just let me you can see this is my application front end content. So this is the all about like how, and also in this command how to secret map and all, and how to create the cluster. So cluster generally I just created through gcloud command. So what is the command I use for that? So let me show you. This is the command to create a cluster. This is the command which I apply to create a 3-node cluster. Then after that I'll just check with the deployment things. Like first I'll deployed my ruling update. I check how ruling out and ruling edit. As soon as you do something, just you put the this command to ruling edit. Let me show you ruling edit, ruling update. This is the ruling update, pause, ruling update, rollout status to check, and you can also verify this port directly. This is the command. You can just verify and resume the ruling update. This is the command to resume the ruling update, rollout, and rolling back to the update. How I will do that? So kubectl rollout, undo deployment, then the previous version, it will come to your previous version, right? So this if strategy will follow. Generally this is the 4 strategy which we are following in our Kubernetes engine. So as I just explained, and in the code, like you can see the code link URL also I'll provide you in my description box. You can easily check this code, deployment code, and you can also test it out whether how ruling update, how Canary deployment, how blue-green deployment, how exactly it is really working. So I hope this video will be very much helpful for your learning, and thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I think if this video is helpful, so don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Bye bye.